And also I think women are often disadvantaged through caring roles, whether that be being a mother and having to take more time off work, not getting the same pension entitlements, and also women disproportionately care for members of a family, whether that's older members, sick members. So I think there's always like a caring penalty that goes against women.
We've come a long way for sure, but there's so much more still needs to be done. But I think, I work in like a creative industry, so I don't see it so much. But like when I did some like temp work in like the corporate sort of world, I was like, whoa, this is still so like a man's world. And like and like the pay gap and everything, and just who's high up, like just seeing it, it's still so there. But coming from like creative world, I was like, whoa, didn't realise this was still like such a thing.
As we're stepping forward, people think that the gap is closing, but if anything, I think it's still pretty much relevant. I think people think that just because we're going forward in future, things are equaling out, but really there's still there's still quite a big divide, I think.
Although I think over the years it has probably closed, there have been some improvements, I still think there's quite a major gap in many areas, such as pay. I think there's a gender pay gap. I don't think women are getting paid the same for doing the same work. In their lifetimes, you've had the waspy women who've tried to challenge not getting the same pension entitlements. So I think that's a huge thing, really, in terms of women's role in society, not getting paid for the work they do, and that pay gap for women having top jobs. And I also don't think women are in as many top jobs as they should be.
I think particularly when it comes to that kind of banter that we have sometimes in the workplace, where we make these jokes where we say, oh, like it's sexism, and we try and have banter rather than actually getting serious about things sometimes.
I'm sick of being a modern woman, because I feel like obviously you want your career, absolutely, but then, I mean, I've just moved in with my boyfriend and I'm expected to also clean the house, do everything housework-wise. So I feel like I'm being the 50s housewife and the modern woman, and it's quite a lot on my shoulders. So I feel like there's still a ways to go in terms of women have got there in terms of career, but I think men need to catch up in terms of the expectations in home as well.
And also, another thing that I'm quite passionate about at the moment is women's health. I think there's inequality in women's health-related matters, and I might cite things like menopause, which I don't think is recognised. You know, women have so many different symptoms that go on with that, yet, you know, we'd have to take sick and we could get penalised for that. Same actually with periods and inequalities around that. And I just think women's health-related matters aren't researched enough, and there isn't enough science that goes into it. Talking about things like miscarriage, actually, nobody seems to know why the hell most women have miscarriages, because I think it's been underfunded, under-researched, and I just think women's health-related matters aren't given the priority that they should do. Maybe looking at women's pension entitlements and the payments that go down for that. Looking at maybe building into sickness policies, some kind of policies around women's related health matters like menopause, periods. I saw that there are some independent companies that actually are allowing women to have a certain amount of days off every year for menstrual related problems. And I think that's actually a great policy that's really helpful. I think more investment in science to look at women's related health matters, increasing the carers allowance, because I think that will help women the most, and just recognising the work that women do in the welfare system, I think, if we can. Yeah.